Hey guys, how's it going? Octopus here. Welcome back to Union Cross. It's been a while. There hasn't been much content on Union Cross, and I kind of just been streaming all week. Operamia, Union Cross, and now I'm playing Digimon Re-Arise a little bit. Too many gacha games. But anyways, the point is, we're here because there's 3 new medals coming out on Union Cross. There's going to be also the Final Fantasy collaboration. I might touch upon that during this video, or I might not. But there's also the gems in Union Cross, as in the multiplayer inside the game. And there's a lot of farming. So every bonus hour that comes up, make sure you guys do that. But you're here for the 3 new medals. We've got Saïx, we've got Luxord or Luxord. Let's go look at Kingdom Hearts 3 how they pronounce his name. And then we got Vexen. Let's jump in and let's talk about every single one. Now, before we do this, all these banners are 30,000 jewels. If you can see, I'm on my free-to-play count. My free-to-play count is sitting at 118,000. That is just purely from just saving, and saving. So there is enough jewels in the game to go for 30,000. Do I like the 10 Mercy Pole banners? No. Do I want you guys to save for 5 Mercy Pole banners? Yes. That is the most important thing that I want to tell you guys about banners, period. If you see a 5 Mercy banner, go for it. Cases are, even if you have 30,000 and you see a 10 Mercy, you're either going to be too nervous to pull on that 10 Mercy because you spent all your jewels on one banner, and then if another banner comes out that's better, you're going to worry about that. But I want to say that it's fine. It's fine to go for 30,000. If you have the 30,000 jewels and something on here is going to help your setup, then go for it. And the reason I want to say that is because every medal that's been coming out since tier 10s have been released are pretty much in the same category for meta. They're all at the same amount of multipliers. They all have some unique utility to them, something they're buffing, power, metal, upright, reverse, it doesn't matter. They're giving some kind of buffs, or they're just applying a lot of damage to your Keyblade setup. So it's been pretty even. It's just make a Keyblade setup. Pick a setup you want to work on. I want to work on power, go for all the power medals. I want to work on speed, go for all the speed medals. It's kind of in that place where, like, yeah, everything's costing 30,000, but everything's also around the same value. It's just, do you need a reverse power? Do you need an upright power? Do you need this, so on and so on? It's up to you guys. So when it comes to pull skip, when it comes to anything, any kind of vice, go buy your Keyblades, your best Keyblade, your medals that need help, and what you want to go for. The banners suck at 30,000. It really does. But they do give us more jewels than they have before, especially now they've got that big bonus challenge going on every single month with a guaranteed 5,000. Excluding that, you have everything else, login, dailies, weeklies with your party. There's a lot of jewels going around, but 30,000 is still no joke. I kind of wish every time that 5 Mercy came back, like the foreteller one, the 1 out of 5 chance, I should have pulled like 3 times off that. I only pulled once on each because they were great, but that was the best time to pull. And then the Ultimate Form Sword, 5 Mercy Pull, amazing medal. Anyways, so banner-wise, 10 Mercy Pulls, all of them. They're all 10 Mercy Pulls. Let's talk about every single one. Let me throw this to the side over here. And let's talk about Saïx first. Actually, we're going to talk about Saïx first, but let's talk about the banners first. So the banners, there's a normal banner. Anyone can pull from this. You don't have to buy VIP. It's that grade L1 right there you see. It's a 1 out of 3 chance of getting those medals. It's a 10 Mercy, 30,000 jewels, and you don't pick which one you want. Are they all good? Yes, they're all good. I would categorize it as like a first, second, third kind of thing. Like there is better than the other in this banner. Like if you pull this medal, it's better than this medal, but it all situational. So a 1 out of 3 chance, it sucks, but it's kind of like the foretellers. If you do get it, it's not bad. So the VIP ones are single. So if you do go for Saïx, you're getting Saïx. If you do go for Luxord, you're getting Luxord. And if you go for Vexen, you're getting Vexen. All 10 Mercy Pulls, 30,000 jewels, no falling price deal. You get 30 VIP coins along with this. And in VIP, you also get their trait medal per pull. So that's the difference there. And also there's like magic stones here ×3, so on, depending on the banner. So that's the difference between the 2 banners. There is, if you don't know already, in the Moogle shop is where they're putting the avatar boards for these medals. So if you want more of these medals, there's the avatar boards in the Moogle shop. Like, let me show you right now. So whenever a new medal comes out, go to the Moogle shop, click on it from the shop or from here, go to items, and right here you get 5 traits for 1,500 jewels. So whenever a new medal comes out, their trait medal will come in here instead in the avatar boards. The avatar board section only has your VIP ones. There's no more purchase jewels. These are for the VIP coins. That's where the VIP ones are going to end up. So that's just a little heads up there. All right, with that being said, let's talk about Saïx first. Now, Saïx, actually all 3 of them are in the category of the 71 multiplier or 70 range. pretty much, except for one's a copycat metal, which again, copycat metals, boom. So 70 is pretty much the meta. 70 and up, even 69 works. As you guys know, you guys have Gula. Anyone that uses Gula knows how strong he is. He's just a heavy hitter with lots of utility. So 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, these multipliers are respectable. And then you just gotta look at the strength. So the strength on these metals, starting off with Saïx, he is at 30,884. Again, that's pretty much metal. 30,000 strength, 70 multipliers equals a good metal. Now, when it comes to Saïx, Saïx is one of the metals that are, it's weird when you look at him at first, but when I really think about it, in paper, it's like, wow, that kind of seems good, but it seems bad. But in the game, if you use him, he's gonna hit so hard because of his one little buff. So, Saïx, 30,884, he's a tier 10, reverse power, costs 5 gauges, so you need attack boost 10 max or 11 max with SP gauge 2, 1, or 0 preferably. The multiplier goes from between 49.56 to 71.25 AoE. It is AoE, so like KR21 is at the range of right here, 69.51. So you know that's good AoE damage because you've seen your KR21s or friends' KR21s do a ton of damage. So that's very respectable, but it has to be on the higher slot. So if he's on slot 5 or your pet slot, he's going to be doing so much damage, and this is really important to think of because he is going to be that end result with one little catch. Now, when I first looked at him, I'm like, oh my god, they put 7,500 power metal strength because that's what he buffs. He gives, for one attack, he buffs power metal strength by 7,500. But that means only one attack. So when you activate him, he only buffs himself for that 1,7,500. And you might be like, oh, well, that sucks. He's not going to buff anyone else. It's not going to help anything. One metal is getting 7,500. If you look at a metal that increases all metal strength by 1,000, let's say you put them on slot 2 or slot 3. So they buff once. Let's just say they buff once. So 1,000 there. And then next metal gets that 1,000. Next metal gets that 1,000. Next metal gets that 1,000. Friend metal gets that 1,000. That's only 4,000 extra strength added to the whole entire Keyblade setup. And those metals could be weak metals, buff metals, or your really strong metals. Whereas Saïx has 7,500 all in one shot. So it's not spread across, but it's still a huge buff on one metal. 7,500 on one metal is huge. It's no Gula's activation for 5,000 for the entire turn, but it's 7,500 on one metal. And it doesn't have to be one metal because of Angelic Ambers. So if we go look over here, let's pretend this is the new Saïx over here. Let's go for something like the Dark Gnaw. Now, he is going to do a little bit less strength over here. This is not the new Saïx, by the way. It's just an example. He will do a little bit more less strength here for the multiplier. Every time he goes down a slot, he gets weaker and weaker. But up here, he's got the 71. Over here, I would say over here, like 68, 69. Who knows, right? Well, you can tell by going into practice, but yeah, it just goes down and down. So Angelic Amber copying him over here, she gets a 7,500 boost because she copies Saïx. And if it has extra attack, that's still 7,500 for the extra attack. And then if he activates, he gets 7,500 for himself for that one attack. And then if he activates with extra attack, another 7,500 there. The next metal won't get 7,500. So on Dark Gnaw, this works out really well. And if you put him over here, now they both have 71 multipliers at full force. It is really, really good. Like, your biggest hitters are supposed to be the end of the Keyblade, and down here is going to be like Era, other metals increase metal strength or power metal strength, and by the time you get over here, they're just going to add 7,500. So looking at his value of like, oh, he doesn't buff the rest of the Keyblade for 7,500, he's at the end of the Keyblade. He is the finisher. So him giving himself 7,500 is huge. It doesn't carry on, but when you mix him with Angelic Amber, or you have 2 copies of him, or whatever it is, he's a very deadly metal just because he can boost his one attack 7,500. It's really good. And then if you use a friend Saïx metal because you're using a power setup, now your friend is also getting 7,500. So technically your whole Keyblade is going to be 7,500 in the end. It's really, really good. I think a lot of people just misunderstand this guy because on top of it, that's only his one ability. He has more than just that. If you guys look over here, well, you can't really tell from this translation because it's bad, but Roboloid and Eileen, thank you for the translations as always. He buffs for one turn your reverse, general, and power attack by 15 tiers. So he fully buffs you for what you need for his metal and the other metals on your Keyblade, except for upright. But again, Dark Gnaw or whatever he fits. So you know how you're facing, let's say, Gula, and Gula dispels you on this slot over here. So when you come over here, you have no strength buffs. Well, guess what? On the Dark Gnaw, You can copy, you can put him here. He brings back to your strength, general strength. He brings back to your power, and reverse up to 1500. And you can also take something like the Fenrir, because, so let's get rid of Angelic Amber there. Fenrir has that one slot. So if you use Fenrir for that quest, you activate it over here, and then you come to Saïx. Saïx activates and gets all your strength back. Because Gula, the foreteller fight that's really hard right now, dispels all your buffs on this turn. So he'll come and he'll fix that all up, and boom. So Saïx is actually a really good medal. I give him like almost a top spot if it wasn't for the next medal being a copycat medal. But we're not done with Saïx. Saïx also has a Supernova of AoE 220 multiplier. It's 10 hits. It buffs power metal strength by 1500. So he also got that in his Supernova for that one turn. Raises the guilt of all metals by 208% and recovers 5 gauges. So you know Dark Baymax, how Dark Baymax costs so much? Well, you can restore your gauges if you have extra attack on Dark Baymax and use it again. So if you got that 120 on Dark Baymax, it's actually useful because now you have a super strong metal that's not Pete, Maleficent, or something that's really weak holding you back. This is a very strong metal that recovers 5 gauges. And then Dark Baymax covers 5 gauges. And look at that. You've got yourself an activation. So it is something. There's definitely a lot around Saïx, and I don't put him down this time like I did before, because Saïx usually is just one attack and he buffs himself and that's it. He only does one attack, 7500 metal strength, and I will explain to you how that works. And then for the entire turn, he rebuffs your reverse, general, and power. So he is a really good medal. Oh, also, he recovers 2 gauges on his activation. So when he does activate, he gives you back 2 gauges. So he does have recovery. So if you put attack boost 10 max, 11 max, SP gauge 0, he'll be giving you 2 gauges on your Dark Knock Keyblade, which is super important. So he's a reverse metal that restores gauges, that does huge amount of damage. It's just a win-win all around for Saïx. I like him. And if I wanted pure power, I'm probably going to go for him out of all of them if I pull for this. So there's 1 out of 3 so far looking pretty good. Next up, we got ourselves Luxord. He is the copycat medal, guys. There's nothing more to say from that. He's got 28,000 strength. He's a tier 10, only costs 3 gauges, reverse speed, which is weird, but not weird because I've done it to Vexen before where they changed the attributes. He's usually been of reverse magic, but this time around, Luxord is a reverse speed medal, which is not bad because a lot of people are using their Sleeping Lions as their best Keyblade, and this fixes a lot of issues that we have on the Sleeping Line. Like we're trying to use Marluxia, Riku, but they just don't fit properly. You bring in a reverse copy medal, and it's even better for the Sleeping Line. So, example of a Luxord. So, this is the old one. We don't have a picture of it just yet. So, Luxord, this is the Sleeping Line. You usually have all upright speed medals here. Now, Luxord goes over here, and he copies backwards, and now you have a full setup. So, copy your Gula, copy your Ventus, copy your KR21, copy Ultimate Form Sora, or you can put him on the friend slot on any Keyblade. So, it doesn't matter what Keyblade you use. He will always be a power, speed, or magic depending on the medal before he's copying. So I give him the #1 spot. Copy medals always have #1 spot. The only issue with copy medals these days is that they're not climbing as high in strength as other medals. But Luxord's at 28,000 strength, where Angelic Amber is 25,000, Lee's 25,000, where the new Luxord is 28,000. Now I told you the average is 30,000 and it's climbing higher and higher and higher. Doesn't matter. Even so, with those medals having 30,000, how much damage does your Angelic Amber do? How much damage does your Lee do? Copy medals still do a lot of damage regardless. It's in Coliseum that you see the difference because they don't have enough strength to help you out. But in PvE content, PvP content, they're going to destroy. So 2 out of 3 medals so far on this banner that are kick-ass. Next up, we've got Vexen. And Vexen is the last one. He's a little interesting. He's the one that I'm like, if I pull him, am I going to be happy? But it's not terrible. So Vexen has 32,176 strength. So he's got the most strength out of all these medals and other medals in the game for that fact, except for like Autie. Autie has like a shit ton of attack. He's got 38,000. Then you got like Baymax, and then you have like Pirate Sora, who are at 50,000. But besides that, the newer medals coming out are around 32, 33,000. So you can see he's keeping up there with that 32,000. So 32,000, it's really good. It's respectable. He only costs 2 gauges. He's reverse magic, and he's got a multiplier of 57.96 to 71.57, and that is if your HP is full. So as long as you have full HP, you got a 71.57 AoE multiplier, where if you don't, it's 57.96, and that's still pretty good. So what does he do? For 2 turns, he buffs your magic metal strength by 1,000. So if you have extra attack, that's 2,000 to all your magic metals. So sitting on a Keyblade like the the Diamond does, he will buff all your magic metals. And you got also, which everyone's probably using, is the counterpoint, which he sits right over here. So if you go with your buffer, extra attack, Kyrie or Xion, on this case, Kyrie, and then you go him, activate, he gives you 2,000 magic metal strength for 2 turns. So on turn 1, he gives you 2,000. So all these metals will have 2,000 strength. On turn 2, he activates twice again. And now all the metals will have 4,000 strength. And on turn 3, they will all have 4,000 strength. If you have only 1 attack, no extra attack, then it's only 1,000 and then 2,000. So it's a carry over. So if you copy him on top of that, you can already see where this is going. Copy your Vexen with whatever. If you have upright magic, doesn't have to be a powerful metal, it's just to get those buffs over, carrying over for 2 turns. You copy him, that's 2,000 over here, 2,000 over here. First turn you'll have 4,000, and then on second turn you'll have 8,000 altogether. It's a very powerful metal if you utilize it properly for that one single ideal that it carries over for 2 turns. Now that's just the magic metal strength. He also buffs your reverse attack by 10 tiers, buffs general and power defense by 7 tiers. So he's a tanking metal that's super strong and doesn't cost a lot because of high multiplier and high strength. He debuffs the enemy's reverse defense by 10 tiers and debuffs the enemy's general power attack by 7 tiers. So he is a tanking metal when you're facing power enemies. Because he's magic versus power, we do maximum damage and we don't want them to hit us with a lot of damage. So against power enemies, he's very powerful to help tanking. Is tanking very useful in this game? It's very niche. There's only certain quests that you can tank anyways in this game. Most of the time you want brute force. So is tanking important? Not really, but it does come in handy sometimes. And when it does, it's very clutch. But he's not just a tanky metal. 71 multiplier, 32,000 strength. He's got that great 2-turn magic buff. By the way, it's 2 turns for all these buffs. So these tanking buffs, even without extra attack, are going to go near maxed out. With extra attack, they're maxed out on turn 2 guaranteed. He raises the guilt of all metals by 200%, and he increases enemies counters to +1. So he's tanking for sure. Now, for his supernova, for 3 turns, so this carries over 3 turns. So 1 activation supernova will actually affect you for 3 turns, including that 280% guilt. So you don't have to do the whole thing, get the enemy's counters down to 0. So you have 208% and all the buffs carry over. This supernova lasts for 3 turns. So for 3 turns, it buffs your magic metal strength for 1,000. For 2 turns, he buffs general PSM defense by 10 tiers, raises the guilt of all metals by 200%. Now, I'm hoping the 280% is carried over in either the 3 turn or the 2 turn. There is a period, so I'm guessing that it's part of the 2 turns. So it might not be for all 3 turns, but it does go after that. So the 3 turn is the magic metal strength. So not on top of that you carry over 2 turns from his buffs of extra attack 2,000, then 4,000. It'll be 5,000 technically because of that plus 1,000 there. But if the raises the guilt of all metals carry over more than 1 turn, that's really good. And if it doesn't, you have other metals that do 208%. But I'm guessing that 208% might be only 1 or for the 2 turns because it's after that one. As you can't really see here, but the supernova right here says 2 turns. That's the defense. And here's the one that says 3 turns. But over here is where it says 2 turns. So I'm guessing it's going to be 2 turns. See? 2 turns, defense up by 10, all defense up, attributes up by 10, and then guilt by 280%. So I'm guessing because it's after this period of this is separate for 3 turns, I'm guessing that the 280 is for 2 turns. But to me, that's 3 out of 3 super good metals. At first glance, they didn't look too incredible. But then I was like, apply them to a Keyblade setup, Saïx on the end slot, being copied, and a friend metal. That's 7,500, 7,500, 7,500. No problem at all. Then you've got Luxord, who again can be on the pet slot. So if you really think about it, you go onto the Dark Knot like we were just talking about. We put Angelic Amber over here. You go boom, Angelic Amber, and then the Saïx in the middle over here. And you got yourself 3 Saïxes at the end of the Keyblade because of this one banner. So if you do pull for twice, that's a lot of jewels, 60,000, but you get yourself Luxord and you get yourself Saïx, you now have a super powerful setup going on just because of those 2 metals. But yeah, they fit. They fit very well on a lot of Keyblades. So I didn't even talk about like them fitting on other Keyblades like Fairy Stars, not Three Wishes, the Counterpoint, not even the Counterpoint, Stroke of Midnight, the Starlight, stuff like that. Does a Starlight have a reverse slot? Does a Starlight have a reverse slot? It's been a while since, yeah, it's got the reverse power. So he's not going to be super strong there, but again, he can still work for his buffs, and he's 7,500 by himself, and then Luxord fits over here. So these medals, they're not a skip, but they're expensive. But again, like I said in the beginning of the video, 30,000 jewels. Most of you guys probably saved up that 30,000 jewels. Another thing to take note are these are the reverse medals of the game. If you go through all of the category, like let me bring up my account over here. Let me look at reverse medals. Reverse medals are pretty much the bad guys. So when the bad guys come in, that's when you're getting your reverse medals. Upright medals are the good guys. So the more bad guys are released, the better. But your average bad guys are Organization 13. You've got Sephiroth, and maybe some members here and there like Maleficent, Pete, but those are usually not the best medals. The best medals in the game are like Sephiroth, Organization members, Anti-Aqua, you know what I mean? So when you see Organization 13 medals come out and you're worried about your reverse slots on your Keyblades, these are the banners you want to go for. These are the guys you want to pick up. You've got like random characters like Hades that show up sometimes, stuff like that, you know what I mean? But most of the time, it's those bosses and it's those Organization 13. So up to you guys if you want to pull for this. I say if you have the 30,000 and you want all three of them, you don't have to buy VIP. If you buy VIP, first place for me goes for the copy medal, second is Saïx, and third is Vexen. But that, to me, they're all like really, really close to first place. They're just like tipping each other. They're all for a different Keyblade. If you get all three, you're golden, but it's 90,000 jewels, or if you're super lucky. But either way, guys, let me know what you think about these medals down below. If I screwed up anything, let me know. I'm only human. I might have misread something. Like I almost thought the 7,500 carried over for more than one turn, like for one turn for all medals, but then I was like, oh, it says one attack. I see you, Saïx. So if I forgot anything, if I missed everything, let me know down below. But that's pretty much everything. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the like button. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll smell you later.